Puppypaw versus loueMT now. The revenge match, or like his, in theory, right? Like the opportunity for Louis to get revenge on Wham by taking out his brother. It's a little bit complicated. It's a whole thing, Merit. It's a whole thing.
It's one of those things, right, where, you know, it hurts so much more if I take out his brother than actually take him out, right? And then it's more personal in that way. So that's what Louis is going to look to do this time round, and relies on the Malians in this opening game on the classic Dry Arabia up against Puppy's Delhi, which Delhi didn't work out too well for him in the previous set against Marine Lord, right? As Marine Lord said himself, but
Delhi's OP though.
Delhi's a different beast, without a doubt.
The one thing where I want to say is an advantage for the Malians. They throw their spears. Not just one way, but two ways as well. They throw the spears to counter out both cavalry archers with the Donzos, and then specifically the javelin throwers also counter out the tower elephant with the bonus damage.
Exactly right. And you know, it's a bit interesting because the elephants are so population efficient, right? Just a very expensive unit that costs so much res and has just frankly ridiculous amount of stats up against the opposite, right? Somewhat cheap units with lower stats that just can be spammed endlessly here in the form of the Malians, once you do get to that castle age, that is. So particularly curious to see how this early game will play out, as historically it went back and forth so often.
The Dark Age rush as Delhi, right?
Exactly. Well, who knows? I mean, Puppypaw did something very close to that, right? With that tower on the Byzantines attempt, and Malians are also somewhat susceptible to it. We'll have to see whether that is the case as we load into the lower bracket, elimination bracket in this case, and see loueMT in the color green, spawning in the north side of Dry Arabia here as the Malians facing his opponent, the one and only Puppypaw, in the color blue as the Delhi Sultanate spawning in the south side here. And as we mentioned, very unusual for Delhi to do any kind of Dark Age shenanigans, at least on land map, so that won't be on the cards here. We'll just catch up just a little bit here. So standard opening so far for both players.
Yeah, I mean, Louis, he's also got the gold in the back, right? So that immediately disincentivizes you just from doing just about anything in the Dark Age, right? Like, you just want to get out of Dark Age now. And yeah, that's probably just going to be the game plan here that's going to unfold. We're just going to be seeing classic, old, fast Feudal Age, and nothing really too interesting going on until then.
One thing is a little bit interesting, though, is we see loueMT chopping additional wood from that secondary tree. Now, with Malians, you need only one full tree to actually place 6 houses around that pit mine. But with this build, you go for 1 extra house, as we see here, the 7th, and normally this is specifically catered to go for the Malian Pro Scouts. You get a very, very nice timing this way. Very soon after dropping your stable, you can afford Pro Scouts straight away with the gold from the pit mine as well as the monster quarry without mining a single bit of it. Although it looks like Louis might go for some long distance as well, which can get you an earlier timing on the Pro Scouts, but it does demand you to delay your stable if you do a long distance drop off like this. So
yeah,
that's what Louis has opted for.
The really important ways to look at this is because Delhi eventually is going to Pro Scout anyways. It's much more beneficial to you as the Malians to just go for Pro Scout straight away. Because eventually Delhi is going to vacuum up those tier. So better you vacuum them up first.
Exactly. That's a big, big reason for it as well. And on top of it, I mean, this is one of those matchups that Malians, you have to respect the sacred sites. You have to respect the feudal investment. And you will need to fight here, likely for an extended period of time, as opposed to against most other civilizations. So as a result of this, having the day nice and safe under your TC, I mean, Delhi already has a bit of an upper hand early on with those berries, right? Gathered up at a faster rate, more berries as well. And they can then lean back on the sheep without being in any danger. Why not have the same as the Malians, right? You can have the day under the TC instead. Also very safe. And you can pump donzos, pump javelins, sofas as well to your heart's content and really put up a fight in the feudal age.
Faith coming in for Puppypaw, Manzaqari for Louis. Looking at the spawn here, I feel like Louis has a really nicely and condensed base layout ahead of himself, right? Like, the way these two wood lines spawned opposite of each other gives him ample opportunity of walling to the sides. Also, all the gold are, like, somewhat pushed to the back here for him. Making it, like, he can get a very nice and compact base going. Meanwhile, Puppypaw, I feel like his base is gonna be a lot more open. The only real safe thing for him... I mean, I guess the bottom corner, right? Like, there's like, deer and the gold there, but can you even really count that as safe? Like, it's quite far away and, like, quite the open area to back onto.
It's tough, right? For sure. And I mean, being so close together can have its pros and cons. Basically, I don't see Puppy being able to really deny Louis' own day, and I'd be quite surprised to see Louis managing to fight his way across the map and take any of Puppy's own day. Maybe some from that left one. That one is exceptionally far from Puppypaw, admittedly, and quite tough to secure. Or at least prevent from being taken by some sneaky warrior scouts. The warrior scouts are, of course, just better than normal scouts. They're faster, they're stronger, they regen faster. So, definitely the most annoying scouts in the game, without a doubt.
You have the double mill play from Puppypaw, so it's going to be able to do multiple upgrades from there at the same time. Not stable coming in.
I stand it here.
Double products. Already has 2 cattle in. I've seen this play like come in a lot of times recently, like this. And I think B said as well, like the very early, like 3 cattle play. It's just got such a quick payoff time, and just having that early additional food income is so worthwhile.
It's actually quite interesting, right? Because now, this is typically the build for pro scouts as Marlians, but that has fallen out of favor. And as a result, we see Louis actually prioritizing that cattle instead, like you mentioned, as well as an early double broadaxe here. So the excess gold has been used wisely, not for what we expected for, but used wisely nonetheless. And the double production buildings will follow in turn. Barracks for the Donzo as well as archery range for those javelins. Curious to see if we're gonna see any Sofa. I mean, I feel like Sofa have becoming more and more popular, especially since their buff a while ago now. Though I feel like if you are planning on making them... Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Against Ghazi, not as good. And if you're gonna make for them, normally you open with the stable. Get them out nice and early, right? So this might just be very, very classic Marlians here for Louis.
Yeah, so looks like at the moment just the Ghazi Raider first line to do some damage here. And it's always nice because you're, like, even if you take some arrow fire there from the TC, you can always just send that one Ghazi back to your base and heal them up. And it's very quick being able to heal them up. I do believe that we're now also getting to the point where Puppypaw is going to be able to start sending out those scholars to the 3 sacred sites on the map, as Sanctity is about to finish up here very, very soon. Ghazi Raider, is he? There's no way. There's no way. Oh, that was close, actually.
Way too close.
That was close and uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm surprised how long he stayed around those wolves, but luckily just gets away. That would be a pretty crazy value there for Louis. As you mentioned, Sanctity is now finished. The scholars at this very moment could be capturing the sides. Puppy just a little bit slow on putting them out to get in position. As I say that, gets a bit distracted doing so, as one of the Ghazis definitely goes down. Maybe even
that's a lot of distraction.
Is this a DC? Okay, now he notices.
Oh, and is he gonna lose the Ghazi to it? He's losing the Ghazi to a scout?
3 Ghazis
of all things?
for nothing.
Gets a scout at least, but that can't feel good, right?
No.
That cannot feel good.
Something must have happened there. I don't really understand. There was such a severe lapse in attention there. Puppy stretched thin, it appears, capturing all the sites at the same time. Not able to focus on everything at once. Is a heavy price for it. I mean, he does get the triple cap here, which is very valuable. Louis traded his early timing to potentially contest this to go for that secondary pit mine instead. Marlians can stop 1 cap initially if they skip that pit mine and go for production ASAP, but Louis opted against that. So he's gonna be a little bit behind in tempo now, despite the Ghazis he killed.
He still needs to be careful though. quite the fight that he can take. All 3 sacred sites have been captured up though now by Puppypaw. So overall, not in a like too bad of a spot here, income-wise. We're now seeing also Blacksmith come in. Once you get all 3 sacred sites, I think like this is the ideal moment to drop a market now and just start trading out resource and just pump like there's no tomorrow. Either that, or we could be seeing like a quick-ish age-up transition here, but I'm not quite sure what Puppypaw's going to go for. He does have a lot of Ghazi Raiders out on the map at the moment, so I feel like it would benefit him at the moment to just invest more into the military and keep control over the sacred sites.
These are the choices, right? Either you pump immensely and go borderline all in, do a lot of damage to the Malians in that feudal age, or you go for a very sharp castle timing and go for the relics as well as elephants potentially to try to stop Louis dead in his tracks of cowbooing. It's a bit risky to invest though as well, because if you do go for a pump here as Puppy, which seems to be the choice, I think, then you are reliant on actually getting some really good fights in if you want to take a significant lead here and keeping control of those sites. As we say, another Ghazi falls to the javelins as well as the thrown Donzo spears.
And the mass is just adding up more and more here for loueMT. He's producing a ton of Donzos here behind this. More just coming in. Puppypaw looks like he's not really trading out the gold at the moment for other resources with the market. It's that he's just queuing up 7 more scholars.
The scholars, I mean, they count as a military unit, although it's maybe not intended here for the for Puppypaw's deli. You know, they're very effective when it comes to fights, those scholars, with all that healing. So once he gets enough of them and he gets these feudal upgrades, already has double blacksmith working for him, Puppypaw does. Undermesh halfway, steeled arrow more than halfway completed now. Undermesh quickly following suit as well. With these 2 finished, Puppy could potentially go for a really good fight. But of course, Louis already has his undermesh, so a bit of idle on the gold.
Scholar is just gonna buy him some time on the decap here. In the meantime, Ghazi Raiders just burning down one of the pit mines here. Single or even like triple Donzos are probably not gonna be enough to deter him. Puppypaw's still gonna want his Ghazi Raiders somewhere else. Gonna pull him off there for the time being. And even though loueMT just decapped the sacred site in the middle, I'm immediately just gonna be capturing that one back up again.
I bet we're doing a good job of controlling these sites. He does lose the one in the middle, like you mentioned, but these flank ones are still quite firmly under control. Louis is going to make a play now towards this western site. Hopefully before Puppypaw's army can reach there. Yeah, actually preparing an
He's
H-up
only got
behind
3
this.
cattle. And it's a Farimba play.
This is a bold strategy from Louis. Very few cows, but clearly that's not the priority with this Farimba. That's... I mean, nah, that has to be intentional.
Must be. Behind this, we also do have the pro scouts. About... it's only 2 scouts, right? So it's not like... It's not pro scouts, it's amateur scouting hours at the moment here. The fight's about to come in before the age-up finishes, so this is like the worst possible point in the game for an engagement here to be taken for loueMT. The archers are starting to depart some of the Donzos here, bit by bit. Louis is going to get away for the time being, at least, but the age-up has been revealed, so now Puppypaw knows that this is the best time to be taking this fight. But the upgrade's about to be coming in. And the javelin throws now finished up. Bonus movement speed on them. But the Donzos are still the slowest unit here in the army.
I really feel like maybe Louis bit off a little bit more than he could chew with this timing, right? I mean, at the end of the day...
Look at the resource from Puppypaw. He just exploded to be able to age up as well. Like, I just looked at it, was like 200, suddenly he's immediately got enough to age up.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Right, House of Learning coming up.
Just like that, right? You sell you buy a little bit of food with that excess gold. You get a triple cap now as Louis goes for the timing instead of additional units. And of course, the deer are also coming in nice and slow for Puppypaw. Only 2 scouts on it, so not investing too much food into them. Question is here, can you survive this timing 14 from the Malians? It's a slow army.
Is it a timing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing,
Is it really
right?
like, look at the food income from Louis. He's at 500 per minute. It's not... It doesn't feel like Malian food income at the moment, does it?
And it's so unusual as well because, I mean, Farimba used to be the landmark of choice before the nerf to the Mansa Javeliniers in particular, taking a shave to their movement speed, but that was done with Pro Scouts back then. Now, Pro Scout has been nerfed since then, as have the Javelins, so, you know, maybe they're still fine, but without any real food to back this up, he is on the day behind this, Louis is, so, you know, he's going to look to take them at this point organically. A crossbows? He saw the Mansa jab, surely.
I'm not sure if he saw... Yeah, he must have seen the Mansa, so he must know that it's Farimba. So the crossbows actually make negative sense at the moment.
Literally 0 sense. You might expect some sofas alongside the javelins, but that's so expensive. And with the threat of an elephant, not really what you want to go for here as Louis. Ideally, you just want to keep pumping these javelins. So Musafadi Warriors also now being in production for Louis. He's expecting some of those armored units, either the men-at-arms, the knights, or indeed the elephant is also armored, so takes bonus damage from those Musafadis. They are faster than the Donzo, so in theory they work better with these Mansa jabs than Donzos do, but...
Just in theory. In theory.
Yeah, Louis is just happy sitting under this, right? The Mansa jabs.
Yeah. They're just happy to be here.
I'll just the numbers are climbing pretty steadily for Louis as well. Just before he was at 10,
it's a lot of right
20 now. And Poppy...
We can't forget, like, Castle Age is when, like, archers suddenly scale a lot better into javelin throws than in Feudal Age, right? Because they go up to, like, 9 damage, and at most the javelin throws go up to 6 armor. They do a lot more damage than actually, like, going through here. The count to, like, one shot is a lot lower. And we're about to be able to get a fight here. There's some Musafadi warriors in the mix as well, but these aren't, like, Mansa Musafadi warriors, so they don't really tank, even up against the frontline units here.
A great mass here from Puppypaw though, right? There's a lot of cavalry, there's a lot of Donzo still, but...
Yeah.
He's forced to kite back repeatedly. He can't stay here for very long. And Puppy, he's still bringing in the day safely, unharassed. So he's going to have food, plenty of it to work with. That cannot be raided behind this. 20 scholars now almost on the field too. So those upgrades we see. Own Blades about to finish very soon. All of the tier 1 T2 Ecotechs as well finishing. Blacksmith upgrades following suit as well. God, they come in so quickly, Crackety.
They really do. With this many scholars, it's... really, really quick. Puppypaw behind this, he hasn't really been able to pick up too many relics. It's actually Louis, the first one to start picking up relics here. Puppypaw did move out to the berries on the left-hand side. That could be something that Louis is going to try and find to harass on his side. Ghazi Raider isn't going to be able to get that one villager pick off. We are going to start seeing some of the sacred sites getting picked up again. And here we go. The Mansa javelin throws, they're so quick. They're so quick. Puppypaw, he's going to see it with the additional line of sight from his scholar. He's going to be able to pull the villagers away here, should need be. And need be, indeed. He's going to pull the villagers, but it's a little bit too late. Louis does get the vision on it and is going to start chasing. No, he's going to retreat.
You have to be very careful, right? Even with such a big, scary army as you have with Louis. At the end of the day, it's the classic situation, right? Infantry army against cav army. Going into the opponent's third of the map feels like a mountain to cross with all this infantry without being severely outmaneuvered or being in the wrong position.
Some units.
Speaking of, when we talk about the outmaneuver, so many reinforcements being pinned against the wood. That's painful.
And the home blade just doing so much additional damage here as well. +3 damage on these knights, so they're doing plenty of it. Louis did manage to get 2 relics in here so far. Might even be able to snag in a third. And he's added a second TC on his side behind all of this. This is somewhat playing an economic game here as well.
Yeah, pretty radical actually here for Louis. So also, he doesn't have the Fulani, but he can still easily add the cows. The Wololo comes in right when the cavalry from Puppypaw is about to dive Louis' base. So, great time Wololo will push them away. But the villagers on the berries exposed. Only some unupgraded outposts here to keep them safe. For a little while, that is. We can definitely commit to at least one of these outposts, I think, and kill most of the villages, if not all of them. Yeah, but it was just a little undecisive. Yeah, focus on other things. Also collecting relics behind this. Plenty of things to focus on for sure.
Double
value gained elsewhere.
Like all the upgrades coming in behind this is just so big. I think he's missing the blacksmith upgrades, right? Like there's still like the melee blacksmith upgrades missing for him that are free. And he's got double blacksmiths.
That's true.
One knight just got impaled 40 times over.
It's gonna feel that one in the afterlife.
At one point, are you more spear than man? We're now up to almost 50 archers from Puppypaw. And a very solid army count. Yeah, I think he's ready. I think he's ready to commit.
As well. The range. About to commit the Lancers. They caught it at choke point. The Donzos are nowhere in position here to actually contest these knights. There's such a big mass here from Puppypaw. Louis knows he needs the perfect position to take this fight, or the fight will not last long indeed. The javelin count is looking a bit anemic, definitely compared to the archer count here from Puppypaw. And as we mentioned, Pake's additional range on these archers. See how fast the numbers here for Louis are dwindling. Puppypaw's own cavalry is dwindling as well. Can't stay here forever, potentially. As I say that, though, actually, I mean, the blacksmith upgrades is there, right?
He's quite at home.
He's pretty at home, actually, with the scholars behind us as well to heal. I mean, this kind of deadly timing is really brutal, right?
Yeah, it's just an extended vacation for him inside of the base here from loueMT. The archers, every time these Donzos try to, like, pick off some of the knights here, instead it's going to be the Donzos that are getting left behind on the floor. 3 relics taken then. While Puppypaw is pushing away the entire army from Louis, all the reinforcements that he's trickling in are just going to be idling out the economy from Louis behind this.
This entire time, 3 sacred sites ticking as well. Endless gold, really, for Puppypaw in this game. Probably doesn't even need to mine any. More idle time on these outposts.
Yeah, the double outposts, they're just not really that much of a threat here at this point in the game. Just going on and on and on. The archers just keep picking off more and more.
Just forcing Louis to run in circles around his base here and just keeps getting dwindled down. Even now the mobility, right? The lack of it working against Louis here. Very interesting strategy with this for him, but yeah, it just did not quite work out in this game, right? I have to criticize the lack of pro scouts when going for this specifically, because like the massive javelin is. Yeah, exactly. Like the mass that we were used to seeing in the past, upwards of 60 javelin throws. That's the kind of count you can read. Exactly. And then you get some ridiculous damage output, but we never crossed that, 20 threshold by any significant margin. And once the day was on the Puppypaw's TC, you can see just the pump is endless.
All the cattle going down here as well, or being ignored. It doesn't really make a difference here. Like, Louis is dead. It just needs to set in. Right now, I believe he's just thinking about the next game, thinking, okay, what am I gonna do next game? Just idly clicking until then, This is all like a tactician's moment here for him, because he can just take this moment to think about, okay, I'm gonna do this and that next game, and now he's decided, and GG gets called. That is going to be the opening match of this set in favor of Puppypaw.
Nicely executed there from Puppypaw, playing very calculated, very standard there. Opting to go for the slightly more classic choice, I would say, in the Castle Age Fidelity. That Lancer-Archer combination, as opposed to we've been seeing a lot recently, which is a priority to those elephants. But hey, I mean, if your opponent gives over a mobility advantage, you'd be a fool not to take it, right? Puppypaw does just that. Louis, strategy had potential, right? But I mean, even that second TC in Castle Age is just, it seems like so greedy, right? You just don't have the food to have enough units to contest this army from Puppypaw.
It's difficult. Like you said it the other day as well. Like even if you don't have full control over sacred sites, like the longer the game goes, the better it just becomes for Delhi. All these free upgrades just taking it so much value that you're getting time and time again. And that was like one of the main things here, right? Like we saw Puppypaw scholar count just increase throughout the entire game, like up to 20-ish scholars. That's the point where these upgrades are just coming in so rapidly. Like in some cases, the upgrades are coming in faster than for other civilizations, which, you know, actually pay full price for them. It's absolutely massive. And once you get all the upgrades that you really need, and you're like ready to go for the all-in, you're having like 20 scholars, each with 130 health, which don't get countered by like any unit in the game. It's such a massive meat shield that you can just pull to the front, have your units getting healed up as well. It's a massive amount of military value there.
It really is extremely oppressive with just a little bit of a lead like Puppypaw had. Delhi can run away with it so effectively. Very few civilizations snowball to this extent. And you can see the result of that. I mean, Puppypaw is just with impunity, diving underneath the TC, running all the way around, double TC for that matter, and then making a nice big 360 with Louis's army before finding himself under the TCs again. But now Louis no longer had an army by that point, so unfortunate opener here for Louis. Very well played by Puppy. But it's still just the first game here. Of course, it's worth noting that everything is on the line at this point in time for these two players. These are the lower brackets at the end of the day. Whoever is out, I was going to say he goes home, but they're already home.
Chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to turn off the PC and, you know, you get promoted to viewer. That's how we like to call it. The viewer, obviously, is the highest leading role in the EGC Masters Fall tournament.
But this is a matchup I'm really excited for, actually. We were talking a little bit about a spear shenanigans on Holy Island from Lancaster earlier. Now we have the other civilization that likes to do it in the form of Mongols. Playing against, I mean, outside of Templars, probably the Holy Island civilization here, right? In the form of Jushi.
We've seen a case made just today for House of Lancaster, but I would agree. Like, Jushi's legacy is like the de facto Holy Island civilization that we see. Like, if we had a tier list, they would definitely be at like rank 2 just behind Knights Templar. We're going to be jumping right in here as we're opening up with loueMT playing as the Jushi's legacy here in the color green on Holy Island, already moving out to the shoreline, wanting to drop Puppypaw already there ahead of him, Doc getting dropped.
Furiously taking notes. Yeah, furiously taking notes right now whenever we see Louis' base, just to get note of that build order, because I'm sure you know Crackety a little bit, but there's usually build order on war, especially on Holy Island. The timings are so tight. You can miss villages on your TC so easily, as well as fishing ships if you're not completely comfortable, and there's a few ways to execute it. But of course, I would assume Louis knows it like the back of his hand by now. And Puppy actually, so it is going to be a dock for him, right? Like you mentioned, there's no Dark Age here. Probably an Uvu as soon as he has the wood for it, without losing fishing ship training time, of course. Quite standard here for the Mongols. But, you know, standard water gameplay against standard water gameplay, that seems like a tough one for Mongols to handle here against Jushi, right? Especially once that juicy Meditation Gardens comes in and there's already some pretty good spots. But actually, it's not as good as most times on Holy Island, right?
It could be better.
Yeah. There's the money, if you're able to gamble for it. It's
very far forward, though.
Yes,
like
exactly.
that's a gamble and a half. But I mean, there are spots. If you got the cojones to go for it, then go for it, I would say. At the same time, like, you could also go for the safe one, right? The berries, the stone, and a lot of wood can definitely be nice for you as well. Like, especially wood. And looks like... Wait, no, that's just another villager going up to the shoreline. First villager has been forced back courtesy of the Khan, so... idle time already forced early on here on the villagers from loueMT.
You wonder, I mean, one thing that it works well towards Mongols' advantage on this map is how difficult it is to push on water. And it's so easy for them to get arrow slits and keep themselves defensive. So really, they don't feel much threat early on water whatsoever, Mongols. So they could go for a lot of fishing ships and not even make any initially. Just purely put arrow slits and that's it. Try to run away with a fishing ship lead. But, I mean, Jushi doesn't mind playing an economic game here, right? So you run a bit of a risk there for playing to your opponent's strengths.
Hardly a risk here. Louis, what's he gonna do with this guard? He can just park that one up on the Uwu. Just get some damage in there. Behind this Puppypaw. He's just waiting to spot when loueMT is going out for gold. Does see that coming in now. So now he gets like a rough idea of what the timing's gonna be for the Age from Louis. Has to actually rush up a house first though. He's kind of house at the moment. But courtesy of China build speed, not gonna be an issue for him. And Scout's gonna be like, get away from my husband. That is my villager.
A nice little standard opening here for Louis. After the 8 on wood, he goes for relatively modest investment here on water. He goes for the age up. As he now goes on gold. Puppypaw, on the other hand, investing way less. Deerstone's already on the way for him. There might be a little bit of a timing to be had here, but not much. I mean, the building speed, as you already mentioned, for Jushi applies to the landmark as well. And, of course, the distance on water. Such a long way to sail for those ships from Puppypaw.
It's just going to be one dropper from these ships, I feel like, from loueMT to be able to go for his own age up. So it's not a big difference here in the age up timings overall. But still, pretty well played so far macro-wise here from Puppypaw. It's also just a difference of, like, he had forced the one villager here all the way back to the base from loueMT with the Khan very early on. That did cause a lot of idle time. We do now have the villagers moving out, and indeed it is going to be right next to that wood line. Getting in the berries, getting in the stone. Not a, like, premier spot for a meditation garden, but a relatively safe one. It's going to be up very fast. The villagers don't have to walk, like, for ages.
It'll do,
and it's
Chief.
not in danger of getting burnt down within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It'll do its job right. It'll give you exactly what you need. Not too much of it, but precisely what you need. That food, that wood. Stone is... you need it, but it's a nice luxury to have on arrow slits, especially if this becomes a slightly more extended feudal age, and we do see that coveted Mongols tech. One of the reasons they have great potential on water, of course, is that piracy, which applies on water, allowing them to gain resources from destroyed ships from the opponent as well, similar to the raid bonus bounty on land. It will be a while before that comes in, being a very expensive technology.
It is expensive, but at the same time, it's such a weird one as well, because, now, I'm not really one to judge, but I don't think it's intended that demo ships 100% of the time give you the resource from piracy. But that's the way it works. You make a demo ship, you're immediately giving up 50 resources to your Mongol opponent. Is it actually worth just trading out Spring ships for demo ship?
Probably not.
Quite.
Maybe 2 of them with piracy becomes worth it. But
yeah, 2 for sure.
1 for 1. Yeah. 2 maybe. You could maybe. I'm sure there's some maths around that, which
there's like 420 resource if you add in like the 100 resource from piracy that you're getting. Like even 2 is already almost worth it.
Speaking of worth
looking
it.
for a wraparound into the wood line. And he is gonna idle out the entire wood line.
And we see
the Khan doesn't want to die.
Here.
Oh no, he's gonna lose the Khan and he's gonna lose a couple of sheep.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. I'm sure it's a price he might be willing to pay for all this idle time, maybe. Although that is
it's
a lot
ton
of
of idle time.
Yeah.
He's adding in archers now as well.
Yeah, Puppypaw really looking to put the pressure on land as opposed. Probably a wise choice against the Jushi. Let's have 1 galley to stem the tide on water initially. The spears are out. Pretty quick reactions by Louis here. Oh, might lose a villager if he's not careful.
This is so annoying when you have like 2 knights next to each other and the charge just doesn't work.
Oh, I know.
Because like one knight pushes the other one to the side and...
it's so painful.
It's 2025. Can we like not have that?
Maybe we can have some shelter.
It goes on the
sheep
list.
instead.
You know what? It goes on the list.
Oh, the one galley getting quite bold, moving all the way across, runs headfirst into a springboard ship. He's forced to back off now, and I mean, let's just say if Louis ever loses water or fully switches to land, he's got plenty of food to work with now.
We're still continuing to dive. We do now have enough passive stone income for that outpost emplacement coming in, so hand cannon placement will be there. Hand cannon placement is super, super strong. Essentially, for the cost, like, it's better than sprinkled emplacements.
That's true. Especially against these armored Keshiks that Puppypaw is now actively making way higher damage, less attack speed than the arrow slits, so in theory, not as effective against light units, but if you can take down these Keshiks, that's really what you're worried about.
Hmm. This Puppypaw is just reinvesting more and more into land now. Yeah, Paddle Scouts coming in from Louis, not typically something that you want to make up against Keshik. Especially not against Keshik. Because the base damage from Palace Guards is very low. It's only 9. So they're not that effective up against the armor from Keshiks in the first place. And then they're also healing for 3 damage. So essentially, like, with every single trade-out hit-wise, you're only dealing, like, 3 damage to Keshik. As they're healing themselves as well.
Yeah, but the melee blob, though, can be a little bit scary here for Puppy if he doesn't pay attention. One thing that's worth mentioning here, right, although with good micro, Puppypaw's composition should be way superior, is water to throw in the mix as well. So a well-timed attack from Louis with no real burden of micro on him on land might allow him to fully focus on water and eke out a much-needed favorable trade there, if it comes down to it.
Can we check? Did Louis grab the upgrade on the dock for the fishing speed? Fishing nets upgrade. He does not have it, and I don't think Puppypaw has it either. Standard lines.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it, but I do in fact see piracy now being researched. So this might mean that Puppy could go for a heavy reinvestment on water instead. This might be a smart fake out actually. Put some pressure, invest on land, get your opponent to invest in a lot of troops. Maybe get a bit passive on water, then with piracy look to reinvest and really push the issue on water. This could be very, very intelligent here from Puppypaw if he can make this timing work for him.
Period. We got a grr moment. A real grr moment in the woodline from Puppypaw.
Oh no. Oh no. That could be devastating if he doesn't notice quickly.
I believe he notices, but like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, you can't place it, man. It's a real grr moment right there.
One of the biggest things.
Keeping Look, he's trying. He's trying. Oh, it failed.
Better luck next time.
Oh,
Third time's the charm, surely.
Surely.
Hey. Yeah. We have Blue Marine for Louis, so this is kind of as good as his melee mass is going to get. The Palace God's move speed is really going to help here, but the speeds are slow, so really the Keshiks can deal with them. Oh, we have Galley.
He's getting
out 2 fishing ships.
That's pretty big.
That is pretty big. Piracy is working overtime at this point in time, so...
Is Puppypaw just making a new Gur in the woodline? Is he fed up with it?
He just had enough?
Yeah, he just made another one.
He just had enough. Like,
oh man, that's 100 wood. Oh, wait, there's a demo ship. That's gonna be an additional plus 50 resources. Thank you very much.
This is where Louis has to be, you know, ideally, honestly, you just don't make demos anymore, right? You just focus fully on springboard ships and galleys, and really that's kind of enough if you just are very, very prudent with your micro, but of course, demos are useful to have, so being dissuaded from making them can be painful. Good mass here from Louis, though.
Very good mass. Isn't quite able to snipe out the archer ship there. Oh, already gets one of the first Springle ships out. This isn't a point that Puppypaw can take, and the one Springle ship there is having an aneurysm at the same time. Looks like he tried to force an engagement on land at the same time, trying to catch Louis off guard, and maybe is able to do so. Demo ship is going to get a slight reaction. He's going to be able to do some damage there.
Decent trade out here on water, both sides so far. Louis snipes another demolition ship, so not gonna take too much extra damage here. Meanwhile, Puppypaw does the same to Louis' own demo. And meanwhile, his army, I mean, he took one look at that melee map and he's like, yeah, okay, time to run back home. Focus on water instead. There's no way you can humanly deal with Micro on both sides this way effectively.
While he was stepping back, he did manage to kill a couple of these spearmen, and honestly, like, the cash count is starting to rise, and these palace guards just don't look that convincing anymore. Louis, though, he's got so many villagers right now on food as well. He's looking almost like he wants to go for an Asia, but he doesn't have that many villagers on gold. But actually, he's just rushing another outpost. Now he's got a lot of villagers on gold. Now he's working on that Asia. Yeah, he's rushing that Asia next up.
Yeah, Louis really wants it as well, for sure here. So he looks to make a defense. There's double outposts now. That one getting arrow slits as well. Well, hand cannon emplacements in this case. That's a lot of ships from Louis on water here.
He's not quite able to connect. There's a couple of archer ships there. It's very difficult to tell them apart here from the normal sprinkled ships. At the same time, is getting connection on some of the fishing ships at least, able to take down 3 of them. That evens out the economy somewhat, but Louis, he's about to be able to click the trigger on the Asia. Now with this many palace guards, I'm a little bit concerned. Shaolin Monastery is going to be the choice here for Louis. Why does he still have so many? Okay, never mind. The UI was a little bit out of sync there. Shaolin Monastery is coming up now.
Puppy's not too far behind, but as I say that, he is reinvesting into even more Keshiks, going from 800 food to below 600 there briefly. And even more now again on the way for him, so Puppypaw should probably try to somehow get a whiff of this. Easier said than done, of course, without God Vision, but if he's very late to his own castle here, this could be a very dangerous timing, like you mentioned. Once these palace guards are upgraded, 18 now on the field. I mean, Keshiks, even an age down, can deal with them somewhat effectively, but Step Redoubt is now on the way, right as the Uvu depletes too, so bit of a lull on water, as I say that though. Puppy looking to make a move, once again pushing into Louis this time round.
Step Redoubt coming up behind this. We are getting the Springald upgrade on the Springald ships here at the same time on water. That one does come in relatively quickly, but not quickly enough for this fight from the looks of it. Will be coming in halfway through though, and the additional range, especially on the retreat here, is going to be quite tough for Puppypaw to deal with. It's coming in right about now, and from here on out, like, Puppypaw cannot take these fights on water, at least not as long as loueMT is microing behind this. We're getting some crossbows in now behind us as well. Shaolin monks are going to start picking up some of these relic.
Oh, double demo, looking to make an entrance, but Puppypaw's paying attention, so they both get pushed away. There's one demo for that himself. Still too many ships here from Louis to actually make any kind of push, and as you mentioned with the Springald ship now. Way too much veterancy for the archers as well as the Keshiks now coming in. Puppypaw, yeah, he's gonna go for the crossbows here just to make sure that these palace guards don't get out of hand too quickly here for Louis. And actually some horsemen as well for him.
Same with the horseman choice, but I guess it does make sense since crossbows are going to be coming in from loueMT. Doesn't make sense for him to go into Jugunu anyway, so just getting horsemen in, pretty good answer to everything there. Louis moving forward.
Looking to escort this one.
The first relic. He's already got one in as well, so there's a second one now for him.
Yeah, the Shaolin monks. Nice timing on them and very capable fighting units as well, right?
We're getting the Springled water upgrade now as well in for Puppypaw. So his Springled ships are going to finally be able to start taking some fights again. It's 10 Springled ships on each side here at the moment. But Louis does have the upper hand when it comes to archer ships and demo ships at the moment, as well as the current tech on them.
No armored hulls yet for either player. Plenty of expensive upgrades to get on water. It takes a while to get them all without sacrificing too much on land. We have extended fishing lines now for loueMT coming in as well, so his fishing ships will be doing even better than before.
All these relics coming in. Wait, Puppypaw, is she? I mean, we know how good Kaganet is, and he is also getting the military academy upgrade in behind this. That is like the one upgrade that makes Kaganet Pulse great because it does affect Kaganet. You're getting a lot more units in a lot quicker.
And that's a telltale sign of the Kaganet coming, right? Like you don't prioritize this upgrade like this in Castle Age for any other reason, right? Unless you're OTD, of course, to get the Burgrave value, but I mean, there's a lot of units for Puppy, so this could be fine in theory. I mean, Louis has pretty much an optimal army to dive here. A lot of Palace Guards, some crossbows to deal with any armored units from the Kaganet as well. But there's a severe lack of cavalry, which is normally excellent when diving.
There's no armored hull yet on Puppypaw's side, but loueMT does have it. Ooh, able to snipe a Shaolin Monk there, which we could pick up there.
3 relics in already, though, for Louis, and he's now starting to take mid-map control. I'm not the timing's going to be really dangerous here for Puppypaw. Like, the resources just aren't really coming in as fast as you would like, I'm sure. He's now, again, just reinvesting a little bit.
Yeah, he's definitely skirting a line here at the moment with the way that he's playing this. Also needs to be careful, doesn't want to lose his cash to some ships there. Both of them are really low health at the moment. But he's about to click the trigger here as the age up is about to come in. There we go, Kaganet Palace now coming in. Snipe another Shaolin Monk, maybe not. Oh, loses 3 Keshiks instantly.
Yeah, I mean, the Keshiks, there's already +2 damage in for these crossbows for Louis. They have not only good mass, but good upgrades as well. So these Keshiks die super quickly. And, you know, I would have loved to get them around the army line to serve as a distraction, but not very easy. 10 seconds out now, Kaganet is.
The thing is now, with the Kaganet, Puppypaw is going to have an insane amount of units on land, and he's also going to get access to the bow chance. Right? So in theory, he should be winning both water and land. Unfortunately, the first point is going to be a warrior monk, so it's not like... it's okay.
It's not the worst one, right? The buff is pretty good, and they get the...
Pretty okay. They're getting the health upgrades.
Yeah, the warrior monks with the... do you get the Abbey of Trinity upgrades? I think you do, right?
I'm actually not sure off the top of my head, but Temple of the Sun, that's a very quick Imperial Age follow-up at the moment.
That
from loueMT.
Crazy, I didn't even see the resin is back for it. Wow, impressive.
Me neither, that happened very quickly. Swivel Cannon coming in behind us though for Puppypaw. The most underwhelming, but also still pretty good upgrade on water. Just because like you can do damage while you retreat.
That's true.
And the attack speed is pretty quick on it.
Yeah, there's no Bouchard in queue. Very expensive ship, and with a fast imp like this, Puppypaw is stretched in economically.
Oh, the piracy is gonna be huge here, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that's we haven't really spoken about enough here. Even now,
leaning
more raid bounty from torching. I feel like Louis might be in big trouble. He has 1 Bouchard on the way, but so does Puppypaw. Although 2 now in queue for Louis. If he can sort of survive here, but he has already lost so many fishing ships, Louis has, and this could be really scary. He has his own swivel cannon coming in. But all these demos that are dying...
The swivel cannon's actually so good here.
Yeah, especially against demos, make it so much easier to take them out and res for every single demo destroyed. So many more, 6 more fishing ships just dying there for nothing. You know,
you killed a lot of villagers as well with the raid, yeah. I mean... The Puppypaw is nothing to write songs about, but Nest of Bees, definitely gonna be very strong here as well for these fights.
Although Puppypaw does get backed up into a corner here almost, he's gonna be forced to reshuffle around the edge of the shore, but ends up taking an extreme amount of exit damage here. His navy has been halved compared to Louis. Suddenly looking very scary on water, as Bouchers from Louis are hitting the field as well.
Lose his own, so water looks like long-term is kind of lost at the moment for Puppypaw, but he's got so many units on land behind all of this.
Yeah, the elite status on the archers is in now as well. The Kaganet working. We already had those warrior monks. Double nest of bees. The second one soon to hit the field too. More warrior monks as well. The Puppypaw on top of it. I think Puppypaw doesn't
still the
realize
starting warrior
monks.
monks. They've just never been moved.
Yeah, he hasn't actually, because they no longer count with the army hotkey, right? So it's a bit easy to forget about them. Double-edged sword.
Oh, they've been moved.
Oh, there we go.
They've been noticed.
I mean, it's a big buff. Definitely not something you want to have access to in that fight.
Just being able to heal up in the meantime as well, like when you're not actively fighting, also really useful. Or taking sacred sites back, maybe stealing a relic. All opportunities.
In Imperial Age, this Khan turns into a raid boss.
Yeah, the Khan is just like... There are a few units in the history of Age of Empires 4 that have been nerfed as many times as the Khan, but I gotta say, every single nerf, rightfully so. Rightfully
100%.
so.
Without a doubt. There's a big raid by Puppypaw the Horseman, as well as a couple Keshiks. Discover the villages on the gold. A spot he struck earlier as well, but Louis still gets caught yet again. Then stretched thin with his army, losing so many villages yet again. He's going to look to make a decisive push on water, but it's a decent number here still from Puppypaw, and so many demos.
The nest of B emplacement though is in on the bow chance, but the devils connect.
Oh no, the piracy as well. Almost coming in for those bow chuds, not quite.
Losing the land battle at the same time, Khan does go down, but it's not going to result in a GG call here from Puppypaw. As the Hu should also be moving across now with 3 Nest of Bees to back him up. A second Hu. Okay, we're getting even more Hu in.
And now elite horse archers on the way, and you know, most of Louis' army, the little that's left of it is just crossbows, and with 3 fully upgraded Nest of Bees on the field, with the additional barrels, they're gonna have a mountain to climb to take those down.
Yeah.
Louis' eco is suffering right now.
The Hu after winning the military fights, now also able to take down the infrastructure here from loueMT, who at this point is already down like 20 economic units. And a Kaganate Palace, which is worth like 800 resource per minute. Oh, Temple of the Sun, once that goes down, the movement speed on the units will also be gone.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna lose all of your advantage, really. All the Imperial Ages, the landmark, without actually being alive. Completely useless here for Louis. And with 2 Hu powers, it's gonna go down pretty quickly. These are super trebuchets at the end of the day, and the distance you can see. Puppypaw, very cozy spot to siege from, feeling more than safe, just sitting there. Throwing up outbursts as well for the additional defense. Water's still back and forth, however. Louis actually has a bit of a ship lead there anyway, but by this point, you know...
I feel like we're getting to the point where we can ignore water somewhat safely.
It's not nearly as significant at this point in time, so... Louis, with the ship advantage, he can't really use it to win it, so... Definitely would rather have those units in land.
On land.
Exactly.
To be fair, he could always make more as Zhuji, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel too viable at this point in time. Don't want to give him ideas though.
You can theoretically sneak out, right? The extra build speed on that island, but normally you have to have 1 water for that, which is far from the case here for Louis.
It's unfortunate that the Zhuji player in this game has fewer Nest of Bees and worse Nest of Bees as well, as the Nest of Bees from Puppypaw immediately come with all the upgrades associated with them, aside of clock power, of course.
Almost like Byzantines and their longbows.
Yeah.
It's kind of painful. It has to, you know, it probably deals a little bit of mental spirit damage, you know, when you lose a unit that you can make.
At the same time. Yeah. Water's hurting as well behind this. 4 vs 5 bar chance. 4 vs 4. Piracy, of course, like always working out for Puppypaw here. I really wonder just how many resources he's gotten through piracy here in this game. Probably a lot, but GG comes in. Puppypaw able to extend his lead out now to 2-0.
Very well executed here from Puppy. I mean, you know, this was Louis' pick as the map. He wanted to play Jushi here. Very strong pick. I don't know if he foresaw Mongols or not, or whether, you know, this was more of a throwaway idea here for Puppypaw in the second game. Whether he knew that he has an advantage here, but man, the Mongols Kaganate timing again. taking another victim here in game number 2. Louis must be quite sour with himself at this point, being backed up against the wall like this. It must feel terrible.
Kaganet is certainly like always something to have to keep in mind, just such a strong landmark. At the beginning, I felt like Puppypaw was actually like throwing away quite a few units. Sure, he caused idle time here and there, but it never really resulted in like a timing window or something like that. And once that Kaganet comes in, suddenly, no matter what happens, you can lose water within the next minute or so. You'll always still have a win condition with the Kaganet Palace there.
Exactly. The Kaganet will not stop working. It will keep providing value in the form of the best units, fully upgraded, cream of the crop, and delivered to the palace for you to use to tear down your enemies, as has been witnessed here. Now, we already have the next matchup on the way here. Front range is the match of choice. Quite exciting. We haven't seen front range today yet, I don't think, right? So,
yeah,
quite a fun map for sure. Great work by everybody making it. Has some interesting dynamics.
One certainly that does mean that House of Lancaster, like, probably a really good civilization here. Now, it's interesting in regards to, of course, like how House of Lancaster works in general. You don't ever really need to gather gold really in like the mid game, right? Because just you have so many really potent trash units. Like when you get billhook, suddenly your spearmen decrease the armor of your opponent's units. Your yeomen, some of the strongest archers in the game baseline. It's honestly, like, on a map like Front Range, you're not really too reliant on the gold that's, like, very far out on the map. And resource-wise, you're just getting baseline a lot of resource with those manors in.
Yeah, the lack of resources on this map can be detrimental to a lot of civs, right? The wood is pretty low. The food is quite low initially. You have to venture out quite far to get any more. A lot of it in between the two players on that vertical line. And, of course, the gold, most of it is, I mean, it's limited in the first place, right? There's just less gold on the map overall, I believe, but it's also really far away in the mountains. So civilizations that have passive bonuses here and some ability that they can use effectively do very well. Both Japanese and House of Lancaster fit those marks. Japanese, of course, with the Kura storehouse, able to secure way more food and later wood for themselves than other civs can. And of course, very cavalry orientated a lot of the time. As Lancaster, I mean, by now, it needs very little introduction. Of course, the manors, as well as the Hobblars and the Lords, giving mobility as well as really strong fighting power at the same time. And fantastic, endless passive income. So definitely two really great civs, and a matchup I'm excited for because I'm generally not sure who it favors here.
Definitely going to be an interesting one, and we're right about to jump into this one as it is match point now for Puppypaw, spawning in the color blue as the Japanese here. Do have one Puppypaw. His opponent is going to be loueMT in the color green, playing as the House of Lancaster here on Front Range, and we are actually going to be opening up here with the Dash Age Barracks coming in from the House of Lancaster.
Always nice for the Lancaster to do, because even if you do get pushed back to your base with spears as the Lancaster, your villagers can often make a hold pretty easy, whether it's on your gold or on your stone. You're not too worried. You can often get away with just investing way less into spears than your opponent can. And on top of it, you have the additional sheep gather rate, so you can age up even faster than you normally would for that lowered investment. So always, not always, but
in range.
Oh, good question. Maybe we can have a look.
I feel like the house is not protected by the TC.
You can have a little click on the UI to see the indicator.
Ooh, no, I think you can watch it.
Yeah.
It's gonna depend. It's gonna depend. We're getting a classic Squircle moment here, potentially.
The Squircle to really settle the argument here. It's gonna be a tight one. Yeah, Puppy going for that value mining camp between the stone and the gold here, but that doesn't mean that the forge is pretty exposed. Even the very back of the forge is not in range of the TC, I believe, so This one is likely going to go down.
Oh, villager. Really, like, risking it all there. For that little bit of bonus gold. And Puppypaw, what's he... He's gonna have to do something here. He's gonna have to... Well, he's got gold on the other side. He's fine.
He's fine, he's fine. He just needs to send 2 villagers. Mine at long distance and they're kind of chilling. But there's a bit of a different issue, right? I mean, actually, okay. He finished that one day. The other 2 on the...
Good timing, good
range.
timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. The house... That's the moment of truth. I think Louis is gonna try to find out for himself very soon here.
Oh, that was a classic Squircle right there. One of the spearmen getting hit. Any Squircles in the chat?
Show us your best Squircles, Twitch chat. We beg of you. Is it? Oh, okay. Okay. I mean... I understand the decision, you know? Like, I see the logic.
No, this is perfect. This is perfect. You're gonna be making only Shinobi against only Hobbler and Lords of Lancaster. That's great. Until the Yeomen pull up.
Until the Yeomen pull up, and then you have... I don't know. I mean, I feel like... Yeah, it's...
That's not a Squircle. Oh, it's evolving. It gets a solid
its
4 out of 10.
form yet. Aye. Now, this Coco, right? The Shinobi will do great against the Lords. And they'll do great against the Hobblers. They have immense base damage, great attack speed as well. But, as you mentioned, not only the Yeoman will deal with them, but you give up the Kura Storehouse, which, frankly, is like... the main reason Japanese is good here, I would say. So you really want to
such a natural food transition.
Oh yeah, makes it so easy. So giving that up here, you have to get tremendous value.
Yeah, I want to say, like, on the other hand side, what do you get in return? You're getting map control, right?
Yeah.
And on this map, there's actually a good amount of berries to be had. And what better civilization to make use of berries than the Japanese?
You better, that's for sure. As a bit painful. Once again, idle on the gold mine here. The forge as the forge gets replaced. I mean, one Shinobi with a bit of micro should take down these spears, but I don't think Louis is gonna allow it for free. Yeah. Now, theoretically, the Shinobi just sabotage the Abbey of Kings.
Could be so easy. Just you just click the undo button on the Lord of Lancaster.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Life could be dream. Anyways, we're getting manners. Manor numero uno. It's interesting that they call it manor when you typically pack them so close next to each other that it's more like suburban lifestyle.
You see, it's cases like this where I wish, just to make Shinobi more fun and viable, this is where sabotage should work even better than it does, where if you disable a manor, just disable the income for half a minute, you know?
Yeah, that for one, and also for an adjacent buildings as well, right? Like wildfire. Spread out the fire a bit.
I can see it. Or, you know, you sabotage an outpost, just disable the emplacement. I think that makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Looks like Puppypaw is gonna do the potential fast castle follow-up behind this. I'm not exactly sure about this. Maybe he just wants to make even more Shinobi. Put the Shinobi on the to-do list for the cow valet as well, please.
Horseman follow-up here by Puppypaw. He's clearly expecting the Yeoman, which would make a lot of sense here from Louis, right, in response to the Shinobi. But, again...
Oh, like, Louis respecting the manners. Like, he is spreading them apart. He knows that his people, like, don't want to live too close to the poor folk.
It's true. You have to segregate your population accordingly here. Make sure everyone's happy.
Shinobi have so much line of sight as well. It's great. Like, you can really, like, pick and choose where you want to like take engagements.
It's true. And the horseman and the shinobi, as you mentioned.
Did he kill a vill? He killed a vill.
Oh, just like that?
Pew, pew.
Some arrows going to push away the shinobi, but... I mean, if you get away with these, it's going to be really good, because they do heal pretty quickly as well once they get out of combat, so... A lot of value still to be gained here, if you utilize the shinobi effectively. But it's another situation, right, where, you know, you don't really want to stay feudal too long here as Japanese. Although you're probably going to be forced to. But the faster this mass builds here for Louis, the tougher it gets. And Louis already moving into
issue.
Yeah, it's a great composition too. I mean, Spearman Yeoman with the Lords. That's so potent.
The issue is typically, like, with the Lords of Lancaster, it is very or relatively easy for the House of Lancaster to keep the opponent stuck in Feudal Age and, like, force them to play the Feudal Age, while they also have great economic scaling with the manors going for them behind this. But we do have a nice little engagement here. Outer Relief from Puppypaw is going to try and surround the Lords of Lancaster a good bit here with the Horsemen. Spearmen aren't really getting the greatest of engagements here behind this. Or is getting pulled as well, but up against the Horseman, he's going to have to be a little bit quicker. Ooh, Lancaster really tanky here, but in the end, first one is going to be going down. Yeoman already did go down. Horseman might try to block the retreating path here. Aren't quite able to do so. Healing is coming in now on all of these units. Look how quickly they're healing up. 6 health per second being healed up. And behind this, though, Puppypaw, his aim is the Castle Age.
Yeah, behind this puppy, looking for that timing. Very, very well played here. The key point now is, can he keep Louis distracted enough to prevent that dangerous dive that Lancaster's so known for? Now, there's no Hobblars, right? There's no ranged armor either yet here for Louis, so the dive is not as scary as it is against those kind of units. One Lord having gone down as well, but now is remade. Now we have actually double stable and an additional range, so okay, this will be good for the dive, but the floating gate is already on the way here for Louis, for Puppypaw, excuse me, but the gold is also an issue here for Puppypaw, right? The Shinobi, 50 gold a piece, you know, alongside the upgrades that you got as well. Not cheap, so your next gold here as Puppy is going to be very exposed.
Yeah, it's definitely the thing, right? At the same time, though, Puppypaw, he has the potential of getting most of the relics in with his earlier age-up timing. 9 spearmen out on the field at the moment. I feel like if he gets up to, like, 5... Oh, look at the burn here at the same time, though. The village is actually trying to attack the Shinobis, but 3 production buildings that were all actively producing now getting sabotaged. That is massive, massive building idle time being caused here right now by Puppypaw.
Fantastic value achieved for sure.
Villagers? Doesn't lose one.
Yeah, I know. Garrisons picks up a few spares on the exit. The
Wait, did he lose the
placement
Shinobi?
of that.
Lost all the Shinobi!
Lost all of them. Lost all of them, but he did kill 3 villages. Disabled the blacksmith.
Oh, he just killed 1. 2 vills died earlier. That's the spearman.
Oh yeah,
killed 1 villager there.
Yeah.
They're not quite worth.
Decent bit of idle time too, though.
Could be worther.
Puppypaw secured this northern gold with an outpost, but this is another small gold, right? And still no undermesh for Louis, so outpost should be very effective here on the defense. Double mounted samurai on the field already as well. As long as the spears get focused by the outpost, really, I don't think Louis can stay here for very long.
Same time, though, all the bonus health here from 4 Lords of Lancaster does mean that this outpost is still most likely gonna be going down here. Mounted Samurai are trying their best, but in the end, outpost is gonna have to get forfeit. Before having to make a run for it. At the same time, villagers getting taken down yet again by Puppypaw.
Very well played by Puppypaw behind all of this. Not only does he save his 5 villagers from the outpost scot-free, but picks up 2 additional ones on Louis' side and idles out the deer gathering there. Very well played. Louis, at this point, he's fully committed. He has to find some really significant damage, but Puppypaw already has 4 mounted samurai in the center third that are now going to cut reinforcements and look to raid even more to reinforce those horsemen.
And sure, raids now coming in though from loueMT. At the same time, Puppypaw, he's like feigning the mounted samurai to go over towards the side of loueMT. So loueMT feels pressure to move back as well. Looks like he's gonna be able to pick off the Shinto priest though from Puppypaw. Wallow comes in immediately, but even with the relatively bad attack damage from the Hoplars, 5 of them are still gonna be enough to be able to take down the Shinto priest before the Wallow does go off. Horsemen, not quite able to take that fight there up against the Hoplars as well, just missing too much health, are gonna have to retreat. Up to 7 mounted samurai now at the moment for Puppypaw, and the economy overall should be looking good. Wait, did Louis see this? Puppypaw, he's got villagers all the way in the stealth forest part of the map, gathering. But the outpost, the point of interest outpost had been taken the entire time. So wait, what's that random forge doing there? It's not... Okay.
Yeah, he was thinking whether to gather from gold or from the deer, right? Tough decision. I think...
Was there another gold there at one point? Like, I don't think so. I think he just, like...
Do you know what I think
forge is not next to the gold. What?
I think he killed the deer carcass and he wanted to switch to gold. Yeah, but then
I see.
Just didn't have the space. That is pretty unfortunate. But he's back on his gold mine now, the one in his base. Soon to be running out though. These are only very, very small. 1,600 compared to the regular 4,000 on the mid-size.
Archer transition definitely needed now.
Yeah, and it's already nicely underway here. Louis, you can tell he wants to get up to that castle edge whilst making only spearmen to defend himself, which, you know, should work against only mounted samurai, but there's already 10 Yumi on the field, and the numbers will not stop
quick wall!
Which could be massive.
Quick wall! Oh, the quickest of walls! He gets it in time! And Puppypaw didn't realize. He's suddenly losing a lot of the mounted samurai. 2 down?
Yeah. At least 3 if he focus fires, but not quite fast enough. But there's so much damage on those samurai. I mean, 2, it's not the end of the world here for Puppypaw. If he can heal these up, that's still fine. But this buys Louis a lot of time now. You can see, getting very close to clicking that age up. Beautiful quick wall there.
Can't quite call it quick wall in Age of Empires 4. It's not that fast. It's a fast wall.
Speedy wall? Fast wall? Swift wall?
Swift wall. Ooh, I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I try.
Followed the Swift.
White Tower.
Just a single dot on the screen as the producer shakes his head.
Right in the center. Louis.
Ooh.
Very bold move here.
That's a lot of food there as well to be had. Definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, he's gonna secure the side, the relic, as well as the deer at the front there. Aren't the samurai finding a villager, but...
Can we get rid of
2 of them give their life, 3 of them, including the bannerman.
Ooh. The age up does get spotted, but just a little bit too late.
Yeah, this can't be stopped.
It's gonna
this
come
is
in.
not enough. Louis. Puppy gets out just in time. No real damage found. He killed 1 villager, it looks like. Building the White Tower. Gonna wall up the northern side, keep himself safe. A lot of gold to be secured there. But this positional advantage now for Louis is pretty significant. I mean, he got up there. He took plenty of damage, that's for sure. But he has way more food access now than Puppypaw does. And of course, the manners have always been working overtime. And he has so many units now to upgrade as soon as he gets the gold.
Love mounted samurai there, getting spotted by the Hoplars, but also spotting the Hoplars. And going back again, but the path, point of interest is gonna spot them once again. Ooh, villagers, villagers! 2 are gonna go down. But outpost with the reinforcement and the sprinkled emplacement.
That there is Puppypaw to be had, he says, as he further upgrades the outpost. Difficult position to push into here for Louis. the game plan now, though, I wonder? Do you just keep pumping units here as Louis? You keep adding mana?
Really?
There's plenty of options, it feels like.
I mean, you gotta scale into manners, I feel like, just because he's lost so many villagers. Did manage to somewhat reclaim that by killing some as well. At the same time, Puppypaw, of course, we mentioned it earlier, doesn't have that Kura Star House working for him in the first place. So that's kind of like a good factor here for loueMT. Almost
Not having the Kura really does hurt, but when you get raised like this, it feels a little bit better.
Oh, he's getting villager kills as well, though.
Oh, no,
villagers going down here.
Nice.
Villager even dying inside of the outpost. More going down.
Threat here. You're gonna look to get surrounded by the Hobblears potentially.
Suddenly the villager count just turning around completely.
Losing more behind this as well, though, to the mounted samurai.
Both players. Oh, they found the... Okay, they found the villagers running out. Both players trading out their villagers. But in the end, Puppypaw able to still keep the lead somewhat.
Just a little bit. Do we have a Yorishiro inside the TC as well, I wonder? We do seem to have a little bit of a villager lead.
There's no Yorishiro inside. We got it inside of the Siege Workshop instead.
Wait, what? Oh, we're looking to go trip down the White Tower, but... I mean... Do you really need the Yorishiro for that? I mean, it's so expensive. It's not like you can continuously produce trebs, right?
It really is, yeah.
A little bit of a
Better
waste.
Put it inside of a lumber camp or a house.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you got a little bit excited thinking you can get it down, but of course that's far from the case here.
Point of interest is getting decapped here now, so Louis is finally going to be able to start getting some of the gold outside there. It's like one of the main reasons why he hasn't really been able to make too many Hobblers here is actually like not having gold.
Yeah. Yeah, the switch to gold in the mountains, a really painful spot in the game for anyone playing this map. Tough situation to navigate through. And these points of interest, I mean, they're so valuable. The amount of vision you can get with those 6 abandoned outposts is massive, but it's very annoying to capture them, right? It takes a while. You don't want to spare too many units.
It is, yeah.
So I think it's a pretty fun dynamic.
It's nothing that we can like really complain about because it doesn't really give you any benefit for fights. It's just knowledge. It's just information. So it's really nice to have.
Knowledge.
Get that knowledge in. Goes Trebuchet out now. Trying to take the first couple of shots against the White Tower. It's not really too protected though, so I'm kind of fearful that Hobblears could always just snipe the Trebuchet out, and Trebuchets are expensive.
They're
not something that you want to lose.
Bulky and very fragile, despite their size. The Hobblears definitely can make quick work of those. One's already trapping it down. I mean, 1 you can out-repair pretty comfortably. 2 is a bit annoying to out-repair, but you can kind of manage it if you have a good eco. 3, however, that's when it starts getting really painful and very expensive to try to out-repair that.
The more you repair with the more villagers, the more expensive it starts becoming, and ooh, nice little wraparound here.
Burn 2 might be coming through here for Puppypaw. There's plenty of places to strike there, as the gold for Louis is all there in the north. And again, here we go. The mass migration work is happening for Louis, and there is no wheelbarrow on these villages for Louis, so the mounted samurai are going to catch up pretty quickly. There's also a secondary group of mounted samurai in front of the retreating villagers. The spears are there to meet them just in time for Louis. He's going to take a few exit damages on the villagers, a few of them losing their lives. The spears are falling like flies as well to the samurai Yoramusha, as well as the Yumi Ashigaru. Louis on the run for dear life right now.
Reinforcements coming in though, Hobblears finally arriving as well. Those are going to be able to dive onto the Yumi archers. As long as the mounted samurai don't fight for them. But looks like Puppypaw is just going to leave them here for a time being. Yes, he's getting great rates with the other Yumi archers in there as well. More villagers going down.
Looks like the Hobble might look to cut off the mounted samurai here and block the exit. This could actually be pivotal.
They do.
This could be massive.
They go down so quickly.
Yeah,
they go down way too quickly.
I don't think he can actually stop him. In fact,
That was interesting.
Nah, there's not enough Yumi here to actually take the fight. He's gonna get out with those, but so much damage dealt. And behind this, the wood line gets caught. Louis, disaster in game number 3 for Louis when it mattered most. Puppypaw.
He's just cutting them all the way down. Yeah, he's just cutting all of them down. They're all gonna go down.
Puppypaw
go back to TC.
Yeah, with the Japanese here, another one of Puppypaw's signature civilizations. Now we're up to that 3 Trebs magic number, but it's not even needed, as the White Tower is also down behind this. Even now, villages are still falling for Louis. Nearly double the economic count now for Puppypaw. It is looking worse every passing second.
Louis definitely worse for wear here, and behind all of this, it's still just the 3 manners that he's been on. It's not like he's expanded up to 9 manners behind this. Puppypaw even adding in a second TC.
That's just disrespectful. Still a healthy mass, however, on the field for Louis. The classic situation of Puppy exchanging army in favor of economy, which in the short term can be dangerous, but the more time passes, the worse it is for Louis, which he understands, which is now he's making a desperate push forward, trying to take out these Trebs. In this position from Puppypaw.
He's gonna get him down as well.
Yeah, Puppy just sacrifices them. I mean, I guess the White Tower is down, right?
White Tower is
your main
down,
objective, so still a heavy investment to lose though, but as long as he retains his mass, I'm sure he's not minding it too much. Boar still being gathered. How's that boar still being gathered? What?
It was a very healthy boar, I'll say that much.
Yeah, that was a chunky one of that.
Still so many mounted samurai remaining here, and with that, GG comes in. Puppypaw able to beat out Louis 3-0.
Incredibly well played by Puppypaw. Swift vengeance here, not against Marine Lord, but in the losers bracket, certainly taking a decisive lead here, pushing himself towards the next stage of the losers bracket, taking out Louis 3-0, and Louis, I mean, you have to feel for him just a little bit today. Just not his day today, was it? Losing 0-3 to Wham in the upper bracket, and now losing to the other Canadian, Puppypaw, in the lower bracket, 3-0 again. It's just the Canadians. I don't know what it is, Louis. It's unfortunate.
It is, yeah. That means that Puppypaw is going to be able to start the journey of climbing back up after being sent to the second elimination bracket here. But it means that loueMT, he's gonna have to face an early exit from the playoffs here in EGC Masters Fall.
Yeah, many people would have Louis pinned down to, you know, easily top 4, maybe even contending for that second or even winning the tournament as he did last time at EGC TV. But takes an early, painful exit this time round. I mean, we speak about this all the time, right? Players' abilities change day by day, tournament by tournament. Someone who looks in incredible form one day can just, you know, not have the best day in another one, not be on their best performance, haven't eaten well, whatever it may be. It can be a multitude of factors, and at this level, every single little counts. So, fortunate for Louis, but fantastic execution by Puppy as he goes forward.
Exactly. Speaking of Puppy, it is time for our winner's interview. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you one Puppypaw victor up against loueMT here today. All right, Puppypaw, congratulations. A little bit of a rough start into the day, right? Like facing off against Marine Lord's never really easy, but able to win up against loueMT 3-0 there. That is definitely, I want to say, like something that lifts the mood always, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, winning typically lifts the mood, just even for me. Yeah, I'm happy with the result for sure.
it's a 3-0 victory there as well. So definitely like a very clean victory there, I want to say. We had Marinot earlier like talk a little bit about that. He thought that, okay, the draft didn't quite go your way in your set up against him. And he gave you a lot of credit, saying that in general, like when he practiced up against you, you do feel like a lot stronger in those practice games. I feel like we kind of saw that strong Puppypaw come out here again today up against loueMT. Overall, like when it comes to just how you performed there, are you happy with how you played up against loueMT, or did you feel like, okay, I can go like even one notch higher than that?
I'm not really that happy with how I played. I didn't play like awful or anything. It's just like I wasn't really sure what I was doing in a lot of these matches, and I think a lot of people are confused when it comes to how to play certain civs and matchups, just because of like the depth of how many matchups you can get is like exponentially increasing. But I picked civs that I was comfortable with, and I think that paid off. Like, I got some nice matchups as well, but still.
Yeah, starting off, I mean, we had the Delhi versus the Malian game there. To be fair, I feel like that was just a really weird one, the way that Louis played it as well. Like, we had a Farimba play, but without the Pro Scouts. So, not really quite the strength from Malians there. But honestly, like, Delhi is like one of those civilizations. Okay, it's probably like weird coming from me, of course. Like, I talk about Delhi on the daily. They live rent-free in my head at this point in time, unfortunately. But like getting to like the 20 scholars and then just the upgrades coming in so quickly, it's very difficult for civilizations to keep up with that. And yeah, I mean, B said it as well, like sometimes you don't even need the sacred sites. Granted, you got them this game, but it's just when the upgrades come in, that's when things just start rolling for them. And even civilizations like the Malians, like it clearly felt like Louis tried something differently there. Didn't work out for him though. But how did you feel in general, like as the game progressed, when you saw like the Manza javelin throwers come in? Were you like, okay, this could be difficult for me, or were you like, okay, I can work with this?
Yeah, no, I was super happy when I saw the Mansa javelin throws. A bit scared, obviously, but I knew like if I could just defend this push, I'm in a super good spot, I think, because obviously he doesn't have that cow eco. Yeah, I mean, I had like 15 skulls, how many skulls I had, so I knew that I'd get my upgrades quick, and then oftentimes as Delhi, you can like push, take the sites, take the relics. Delhi's mid game is super strong, and I think Malians, if they're gonna go for Imba, they need to do some serious damage, because Delhi does have a very good mid game economy. They can sometimes even keep up with Kaboom, so.
Second game. Holy Island, the Mongols there. That was incredible. Like, I gotta say, like, this back and forth. At the beginning, we were worried. Because there were, like, quite a few caches being thrown away for some idle time cost, but not with, like, an immediate payout there as well. The Kaganet, was that, like, always something that you had in mind that you want to go for there?
Yeah, I mean, the Kaganet Palace was kind of in the back of my head the entire game. Because I don't really see too much of a win con, especially with the spawns that happen. Sometimes the Woodline can spawn in the back or in forward. Typically, I think for Mongols on that map, it's much better to have Woodlines in the front. You can be a lot more aggressive. So because of the back Woodline spawn, I felt like, yeah, I need to play a bit more macro. I mean, I tried to be aggressive, but it was very difficult on this map. So kind of in the mid game, I thought that, okay, this is my win con.
Were you worried when you saw like the roster of units that you got immediately, like starting off with the warrior monks into Hu Pao?
Yeah, I mean, a bit worried, but I don't know. I felt like the aim was going very well for me, so I wasn't like too panicked, because I mean, he didn't even pressure me when I hit him. He had like pretty bad composition, I think, for diving, like towers and TCs. Like he had no horsemen, so I felt pretty comfortable.
Definitely like one of those games where once you get the Kaganet in and you're not in immediate danger, it's kind of like that's the comfort zone for the Mongols there. And then in front range as well, that was just like I want to say like prime Puppypaw gameplay right there, when you were like just running around with the knights trying to find raids here and there. And in the mid game, you had some back and forth between the villager kills, but then just raid after raid after raid working out in your favor. How are you feeling in like that matchup in general? Because we didn't quite see Japan that often on that map. You went for Koka Township instead of the Kura Storehouse. Was that something that you just did in order to like have an answer to the Lords of Lancaster, or was that something that you had like planned down the line?
I just did it. Yeah, I don't really play that much on that map, honestly. So I just felt like I needed to. Yeah, I felt like I needed to get on the map, and I didn't want to play an extended feudal, so I thought that if I got some early pressure on the map and I kind of kept him in his base with, the constant raiding and moving my units around, especially because he was playing this super mobile comp. Like, a lot of people typically like to go horseman, but I guess because I was going those Shinobi, he thought he had to go yeoman, so I just kind of spread out my eco, spread out my units, and just tried to delay him from pushing me, pretty much.
Once again, Puppypaw, congratulations on your victory here today. It means that you're going to be able to progress further through the second elimination bracket here today. We got one more set to cast today. It's going to be B versus Anatan. Who are you personally rooting for?
I mean, personally, I'm rooting for Anatan, but I think it's going to be a good match. Typically those two get in some good series, at least from what I've watched, so it should be exciting.
All right, thank you so much, Puppypaw. We're going to be seeing plenty more of you in the next couple of days, and with that, thank you so much, and have a good one.